It is good that we're talking about mental illness more these days, but are we really? Like, I do think that people are only comfortable talking about their mental illness just as long as it makes them seem hot and bi. And like, I'm feeling like we're not here, like, why aren't people talking about having Munchausen's by proxy? Like, you're not hearing those stories. Like, I feel like people are less painting an accurate picture of themselves and more just painting a picture of them moping in a leather skirt. With like a bass nearby. Like there's always an implied bass. And my mental illness does not fall in those parameters. One summer I couldn't piss until I sang the first verse of Lou Bega's Mambo Number 5. That's neither hot nor bi. That's strange and macabre. I sleepwalk a lot, and one night in 2018 I went missing in the night and I was found on all fours drinking out of my dog's water dish. That's just kind of vaguely German, if anything. You're not gonna see that in a Boy Genius lyric. You're not gonna see Bo Burnham bitching about that in his back house, about having interspecies confusion. Sometimes I just feel like things are getting worse culturally. Like, obviously, we're making amazing progress, like how starting in 2024, we're gonna have to put whether or not we're a top or a bottom on our driver's license, and I think that's amazing. 2 lines at TSA, tops, bottoms, and they'll still be clear. There will always be clear for your sister's boyfriend. Ken told me this at the gate, he's got clear. One example that things have gotten worse culturally, Richard Simmons once carved a home for himself in our zeitgeist. You couldn't handle Simmons today. For the young people, Richard Simmons, imagine Jonathan Van Ness if you gave them rabies and a fucked up little perm. Simmons was a capuchin monkey with a lifetime gift card to Joanne Fabric. He was gay, yes, but more importantly, he was insane. And he had a home in our culture. And I get why we can't have that anymore. Everything's shot in 4K, in high def. We need the indoor beach children like Timothée Chalamet. We need boys and girls who were built, like harvested in the back room of a Sephora after a couple chemical spills and then kept at room temperature in Santa Barbara. We need these indoor beach children. People are so pissed about Chalamet playing Willy Wonka. Baby, we need him to play Willy Wonka. In 4K, Gene Wilder, God rest his soul, Gene Wilder in 4K? It would be like the first movie theater audience thinking the train was coming. I was talking about Richard Simmons in a totally different way on stage in Portland, and one of the theater tech, usually theater techs ignore me totally. They're usually big guys, and they usually ignore me. This guy was out back smoking, he was like, Chris, I got a Simmons story for you. Buddy of mine by the name of Yeti. 6'6", 320 pounds, bad mother. Guitar tech for Dave Grohl. Grohl got booked to do the Today Show one day. Simmons was double booked. Yeti goes as support. Yeti's out back in the stairwell smoking a cigarette. He looks back at the bottom of the stairs, and there's Simmons. Simmons sees my boy, and his face lights up. Now, Chris, Simmons started singing, "Hey, Big Spender." Now, you or I or any rational person would do, 1 stanza per step. Not Simmons, the sick puppy. He would sing the entirety of the song on each step. So what seemed like an interminably long period of time, he was getting up the stairs toward my boy Yeti. Now my boy had seen it all. Hell's angels, criminals of the worst degree. He'd never been more afraid in all his life. And by the time Simmons got to the top step, this is a direct quote, he locked eyes with Yeti's belly button. And he pooped him in the belly button. And he ran back down from whence he came. That's my Sinatra right there.